Hi everybody, Mark and Andy here. We just wanted to take a minute to say thank you. Thank you for listening to the Church Leadership Podcast. We have gotten a great response so far as we've gotten a few episodes under our belts, and we've gotten some great guests to join us to have conversations, and we hope you have been encouraged and equipped as you've listened. We've enjoyed the feedback we've gotten from you, and we want you to keep listening and telling other people about the Church Leadership Podcast. We have some exciting news we want to share with you today about something that Mark's going to tell you about.
Yes, so we've got another giveaway. We did a giveaway right when we launched the podcast, and we've got another one that we're getting ready to do. And so this one has some great prizes thanks to our sponsor, Generosity by Lifeway. And so here's what we've got. We're giving away several things. We're giving away 2 copies of this book, Leading a Generous Church by my friend Todd McMitchen. And then we got a couple copies of that. I've got one and Andy's got one here. And the other one is
The Genius of Generosity by Chip Ingram. So we want you to have a copy of this. We actually have 2 copies of each book.
Yes.
So that's 4 total books we're going to be giving away. And there's a certain way you can enter to win one of these 4 books.
Yes, and in addition to these books, though, we've also got 2 tickets to an event. So there's an event in Huntsville, Alabama, and one in Birmingham, Alabama. The one in Huntsville is May 15th, and the one in Birmingham is May 16th. And it's basically a workshop teaching your church how to become a generous church. And it's tied to these things as well. So we're giving away free tickets to that, these 4 books, and here's how you enter. You can do 2 things. You can leave a review of our podcast, Church Leadership Podcast, on Apple Podcasts. That's one way to enter. Or if you've already done that, or if you don't want to do that, then you can share our podcast and information about our podcast on any social media channel. If I can spit that out. Social media channel.
Say that 5 times real fast.
That's right. And if you do both, then you'll have 2 entries into the contest. But here's how you enter. You do those 2 things. Leave a review on Apple Podcasts or share about the podcast on social media. And then, so we'll know you've done those things and you can officially enter the contest, go to churchleadershippodcast.com/contest. It's got all the information there, and you can fill out the form and let us know how you entered, how many entries you have, 1 or 2, and you will be officially entered into the contest when you do those 2 things.
So we have 6 total prizes we're giving away. 2 tickets, not to Paradise, mind you, but 2 tickets to the Generosity by Lifeway training events, May 15th and 16th in Huntsville and Birmingham respectively, and Leading a Generous Church and The Genius of Generosity. Great books, great events, great opportunities for you to learn to be not only a generous believer or disciple, but also to even lead your church in generosity.
Absolutely.
So there's some great tools and resources that Generosity by Lifeway has, and we're glad they're a sponsor of the podcast. And we want you to do like Mark said. We want you to continue to show us the love as you review and like and subscribe and share about the podcast. And we want you to be able to enter to win some of these fantastic prizes.
Yeah, and Andy and I talk about this a lot. It's really, we don't ask you to share or leave a review because we think we're great. Because if you've heard the podcast, you know what we've learned by doing it the wrong way. We just really believe the people we're interviewing on this podcast are people others should know. And we feel like we've gained so much from just listening to them and having these conversations. We want other people to be exposed to that.
Absolutely.
And so that's why we want you to share about the podcast. And that's why we want you to leave a review, because that gets more attention too. So Church Leadership Podcast, you can find it anywhere you listen to podcasts, or Apple Podcasts, Stitcher, Pocket Cast, you name it, it's out there. And you can also go to churchleadershippodcast.com. And so we thank you so much for listening and for checking out this video. And we hope you enter that contest and hope you win.
Amen. We want you to be better encouraged and equipped to lead in the local church, and we want you to be generous as you do that.
That's right.
Go ahead and do those things, and we can't wait to announce very soon our 6 winners.
Yes.
Thank you.